Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel.
Yeah. Hey.
Hi.
My name is Uchenna.
My name is IJ.
And I'm Dior.
And tonight we are going to discuss Real Housewives of Potomac, episode 15, season 6. So we're getting close to the end, ladies.
Yes, we are. Karen's wedding.
Yes.
Renewal.
It's been quite an eventful season. And tonight's episode, it began with they finished up a little bit, at the restaurant. Gizelle wanted to stand up and apologize to everyone in the restaurant, which I think that she should have done because that was a hot mess. But she didn't do it. But they ended on a goodish note. And
why do you think she didn't do it?
Maybe just even more embarrassment. I don't know, right? Yeah, I think that she
I know on the way out, she did apologize to the men at the table. Or she said, thank you for putting up with us.
Right. So they left and got on the bus for the ride home. And, for me, my favorite parts of this whole entire season had been the bus ride there and the bus ride back. They've been like a hot mess, but a funny hot mess. And this bus ride home was just as fun as a bus ride there. So I think it's when they've gotten along the best without arguing with each other or really putting each other down.
Do you think they take it personal when they're doing all these like constant yelling at each other?
I don't see how they couldn't, right? It has to sit with them some way. I don't think it might not be as deep as we think it is, but I think it does affect them. I would think that it would have to, unless it's all fake, And
it just seemed like let it roll off their backs and they're just back to giddy hee hee ha ha, except for Wendy.
No, yeah, Wendy don't let any. And Gizelle and Karen, they have been at it for a while,
Right.
So I think some grudges stick and then some go away.
Yeah,
it's really good to see Gizelle and Karen in a place where they can talk and get along, and there's not a lot of back and forth.
Right. No, I agree.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree.
So we go back to I guess they go home, they go to sleep, and then the next morning they wake up and
we forgot something. So the great escape.
Yes, we forgot
Gizelle and when Gizelle and Robyn leave.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
But before we get to there, we also miss Candiace and her husband talking. And her husband telling her, hey, Ashley's not that bad. And Candiace saying, you know what, you're right, she's not. And their pinky promise that she's going to behave. I'm wondering, do you think that pinky promise to behave is because and acknowledge her behavior as messy because of this new persona she's having of herself? On her Instagram, she's posting about her album release party and everything else and these roles that she's trying to get. Do you think that she's trying to clean up from this?
No, I don't think so. I think she just realized. I just think she realized how bad she was behaving, especially at the restaurant, and she needs to clean it up. I don't think the TV roles or her music career is the reason why, or she would have never acted that way in the first place. So.
Or she's making drama to pull some more attention to herself.
I don't think so. She was just way too upset for that to be fake. She was going a little.
Really?
Yeah. But what you guys were right. I forgot the part where Ashley was kind of sandbagging all the men there, saying how badly they were behaving, like on the bus and stuff like that. And then they did a flashback. She was like, thank God Michael isn't there because Michael at least knows how to act when he meets new people. Because she was talking about G. But then they did a flashback of Michael when he first met everyone on the boat, and he was taking his pants down and about to jump over the boat because Chris was about to show his brown penis, and then G was about to show his, which I thought was hilarious. I thought that was
But I thought was funny was the ladies were like, I don't want to see that, but everyone was like,
don't show me. Eyes all with binoculars.
I wonder why he didn't come why he didn't come.
He doesn't like any of them. He does not want to be around those people. The only person he likes is Juan, and he's in love with Juan. So that's why.
And Juan just didn't want to come, or
I mean, everyone, I mean, there are people who have husbands. There are a lot of people who have husbands that are like, no, I'm not going on your trip.
Definitely.
That's not anything surprising that the husband didn't want to go.
Right. Yeah. So
back to Robyn and Gizelle's runaway.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys agree with Robyn and Gizelle for leaving, or do you think that they were in the wrong?
Their rooms were kind of.
I don't think they were in the wrong, but I mean, if you don't have a bathroom, and especially if you're on your period, you're not gonna want to share somebody else's bathroom with them on another floor.
Right.
And I don't even know, like, were the bathrooms that belonged to the other people, were they in their bedrooms, like, or were they out in the common areas? Like, I think
some of them were attached to their bedrooms.
Yeah. The whole setup was not really. So what if, like Robyn said, what about if Juan would have come? Then where would Gizelle have stayed? You know,
in the room with them or on a couch.
Wow. So that was not. Wendy didn't plan this, thoroughly, but she did say it was planned prior to their argument.
Yeah, but it still didn't have enough room for everybody, because like if Juan would have came, or if Gizelle would have brought someone with her, then there wouldn't have been enough room.
Right. So, and they're probably used to having a certain lifestyle when they do travel. So maybe it wasn't inconvenience.
Not if she was entertaining a 2.5-star hotel.
Well, they didn't go there. They didn't go.
I wouldn't even said it. It wouldn't have come out my mouth. I would scroll right by that. We would have pretended that hotel didn't even exist.
Right. But I did think it was really good of Mia. And it surprised me that she offered her bedroom and was like, listen, you guys can take this room. If G was awake, he would offer it for you guys too. I thought that was really good of her.
What would she have done if they would have said yes?
She would have done it, I think, because it was sincere. She didn't have to say anything. She was really trying to get them not to go, so I thought that was good of her,
And I thought it was weird. What was her name again? The one that was Escala, helping them take the bags. Escala was felt weird about the whole entire thing, and I feel like even though Wendy was their host and they might have felt that it wasn't planned out accordingly, I feel like they should have at least let their host know, hey, it's not working out for us here. We're going to leave, stay somewhere else, but we'll be back in the morning. I felt that would have been the cordial thing to do.
I think if they were getting along, they would have done that, but they weren't getting along. So, I mean, I'm not surprised they just left.
And come around and check to make sure everyone's accommodations were okay. She knew she didn't even know they didn't have a bathroom. So
yeah. I would have just left too. I'd be like, whatever, I'm leaving. I wouldn't have said goodbye to Wendy.
I mean, she didn't seem worried that they weren't there. So
she knew they were leaving.
Well, only because they saw, and she didn't come down and say, hey guys, what's wrong? So she should have done that if she was the host. I just yeah. So then we come back to the morning, and G, and what was funny was that Mia was wearing her lingerie in front of everyone. I thought that was a little strange.
Nobody said anything.
No one said anything. I know.
I don't really know too many men that would let their wives do that. with other
Yeah.
men around.
She was
And in
covered
front of
up.
other
So.
people's husbands too. I thought that was like very
Well,
odd.
she had a robe on.
It was
It
see-through.
was sheer.
It was cute. I'll give her that. And at first I thought maybe it
cute.
was a bathing suit, but then I saw this lace and stuff. I was like, no, that's her night clothes. That's her lingerie.
And nobody said anything.
No one said anything. They're just like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, that's another good point. None of the wives were like, "Hey, can you not wear that around my husband?"
Yeah.
I guess
Well, I think
he was
if Karen-
one husband to worry about. So
Right. If Karen's husband was there, Karen might have said something.
She might have. But I thought it was really cute that they showed all the people talking to their children and saying hi. I thought that was a nice touch. So what did you guys think about Ashley kind of chastising Michael for telling the oldest that he was being a bad boy for acting up?
I mean, it wasn't surprising to me. I know, like my sister, she doesn't want you to call her child bad, or she doesn't use those words either. And I have a friend that's like that too. I think that's just how this generation is parenting their children. They don't want to.
So how's the child supposed to know when they're doing something good or when they're doing something bad or wrong? Do they just use different words?
I think they tell them that, their actions were not appropriate or they shouldn't have done that, but I don't think they, are categorizing them or classifying them as a bad child because they did a bad action.
Maybe she's feeling he should have said, that was bad what you did, not you're a bad boy for doing this, but saying this act is bad. But needless to say, it kind of goes back to, this past generation of kids are different than the generation before, just like we're different than our parents' generation. But that would be very hard for me to always really think about what you're saying. Like my kids didn't like it if I just told them to do something. It's your turn to do dishes, go ahead and do it. But Mom, why? They wanted the rationale behind everything. And I was like, no, do the dishes.
Yeah, that's how I am. I think I don't know. I think it coddles the child too much. I can understand saying you're a bad boy. You shouldn't say that. But I think you have to tell them what it is and not dress everything all neat in a bow. Because when the child goes into the real world, no one's being careful about what they say to them. People are going to speak to them like people regularly speak to each other. So they really need to learn how to navigate through that. And if you wrap them up in bubble wrap their entire lives as in your house, then they're going to be totally exposed when they go out into the real world. And they're going to have a tough time.
I would say with like social media, I think there's been more awareness brought to just mental health. And I know there are a lot of pages and things and memes about how, like parenting styles that we may have grown up, being raised under, could have a negative impact on, the child when they're growing up and, those child. So I think there's more, like the younger generation of parents are looking at those things more and just trying to like raise their children differently. I don't know if there's a right or a wrong, but it's just different.
But then you'll have to wait and see how this type of parenting is going to affect them when they're older. So it might have a negative effect, a different effect, but it also might be negative. So yeah. Right. So I guess we just have to wait and see.
I mean, like, it's scary to me, but I won't be alive by then, so maybe not. But to me, it's just really scary how everybody is so soft on everybody all the time. Got to be super careful. But in the workplace, it's not always like that now, is it?
No, it's
especially if you're a person of color, it's not always going to be, fair and Tommy, it's okay. No, that's not right.
It's also our generation. A lot of our generation need therapy or are in therapy too. So
every generation, though. I mean, I think every generation needs to go through therapy. It's just, we're just more aware of it. Therapy is more acceptable now. You know?
Definitely. It's like, it's okay to say I'm in therapy now.
Right.
For men, even like just really quick, it was on Black Skin, something like that. I forget what it was, on Instagram. And this guy was talking about, he has a page about what he went through as a kid and how he's in therapy. And he's giving advice to people. And he said, parents, don't spank your kids because that's abuse. And he feels that he was abused. And because he was abused, he tends to seek relationships that are abusive.
I disagree with that.
I was like, what is this?
I mean, that's his interpretation of what happened. Not all kids feel like they were abused when they got spanked.
Right. I was like,
I don't agree with that at all.
Me neither. I was quite surprised, but that's where we sometimes get too much into our emotional, but we digress.
Yes, let's go back to the show. So Ray comes to the house.
That was weird.
I just can't.
You know what? I've been like how you guys are, but now I'm like, maybe they are really getting along. Maybe whatever he hated about her in the past, he's gotten over, because he seems to genuinely care for her. He's holding her. And
he was petting her back. But why were they showing us that? I feel like they were like making it a point to say, like, look, they're different now. But also, he just seemed really elderly to
when he got out that car.
No.
How are you doing?
He was just like shuffling around. So maybe he's going through some things. I don't know.
And his butt is big. I was like, Ray has a big booty.
No, he's an old man's booty. No, when he was on the boat, he goes, I'm at the restaurant. I'm doing a restaurant. He was in that.
Yeah, that was funny.
I was like, what the?
He was acting like a waiter with the thing. I thought that was funny.
It was his plate of food. There was nobody else's plate of food. I was like, Ray, sit down. I'm like,
but Ray's hilarious. When he was like, when him and Gizelle were bantering back and forth, I thought that was really funny.
He likes Gizelle, and that is so annoying when your husband likes your.
I know, your nemesis. Yeah,
and he goes, Karen, why don't you wring her neck instead of
Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny. Let's
Which
talk about
goes to show
Mia.
that Ray doesn't care that Giselle wished him death. It's only Karen making up excuses.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Drama. What do you guys think about Mia being so messy all the time and then being wrong when she's messy?
She is so messy. It's messy Mia. She reared her trifling head because she got that story all the way wrong again.
But it's funny because she's just like, oh, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I missed it. And they all just kind of let it go.
And laughed it off,
Yeah. I was just like, when she said, I was like, did I miss something? Because they must have cut out a scene and not showed it to us.
Mm-hmm. But I was so glad that Robyn was like, you know what? I'm over you, Wendy. I don't want to discuss it. Because, Wendy was ready to have a conversation about that. But Robyn would just dismissed her. She's like, you know what? It's not bothering me. I'm done. And that kind of set Wendy off. She got even madder, and she started being really confrontational about nothing.
Wendy is just a confrontational. She, unfortunately, is the epitome of what people stigmatize Black women as: angry. Mm-hmm. You can't talk to her about anything. She's just angry. Mm-hmm. And I think it's even more so with her husband there, because now she has somebody in the crowd to show off to and support her. But, she's quite confrontational.
I think she always she feels like she always has to prove herself, and I think that causes her to be, confrontational and argumentative, because she always has to be right, or she has to be seen in a good light, good positive light.
Do you think Robyn looks? I think Robyn looks really good. I feel like she's lost a lot of weight. Like her face. No, she didn't.
If you compare her, I mean, she looks good, but if you compare her from last season to this season, she's put on weight.
The beginning of this season.
Oh,
to now, like, I don't know if it was the sun or I didn't have my glasses on when I was trying to watch the watch it on my computer or what, but I was like, Robyn looks really good. I don't know. Even Gizelle looked really good, right?
Well, compared to the beginning of the season, yeah, Gizelle has lost weight, but they're both bigger than they were last season. which
and Gizelle looked nice. Her dress.
This was
nice.
her. I was
like that dress, yeah.
She stepped up her game this season, and this is probably the cutest thing that she's had on. It was a really cute dress, and she looked good.
Yeah, she looked good. That water aerobics. Who else here is taking water aerobics?
Me. But it's not doing anything for me yet. I need to stop eating.
So yeah, this episode was funny. It was did you like Candiace's?
Well, I thought that I was glad to see that both Candiace and Mia apologized to each other.
Yeah.
And I think both of them were sincere. I think Candiace is like really sensitive about her video. And
let's talk about that part real quick. Because I can't with Karen. Karen is, she just,
what did he do? Did I miss it?
Karen's face.
When Candiace was like crying over, Mia criticizing her video, Karen's over there like,
oh, she was crying too?
She was dabbing her face.
Oh, girl.
I feel like she was like shaking her head, and it's just like, girl.
She's trying to be super supportive. That's what she's trying to do.
She was one of the ones that was over there when all that stuff was going on. It's not like she excused herself and said, hey, I'm not going to be a part of this conversation, or you guys, we really shouldn't be talking about it, or Mia, that's inappropriate. She was steady listening.
There was another part, it wasn't this episode, but I think it was either last episode or the episode before that, when someone was getting into a fight. I think it was part of the salad tossing thing. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I think it may have been in that little after show that she was saying, but she was like, oh yeah, I was so glad that you stopped them. Someone needed to stop them. And I'm like, well, why didn't you? You're sitting right there.
I know.
She's like, I'm so glad that you jumped in because someone needed to do it. She was like, and I'm working on my relationship with Candiace. So I'm like, so you can't do it.
Right. Yeah. She doesn't want to get on Candiace's bad side. But I thought it was really big of Mia to apologize first and be sincere about it. And I thought it was really good that Candiace then apologized appropriately.
Right.
And when Mia was telling her story about her mom, I was like, her mom has had a really tragic life. Her mom has had a really hard life. And
Mia has had a hard life.
Yeah, but her mom too. I mean, Mia's life is caused by the mother's hardship, what the mother's gone through.
Right.
So.
And it's surprising that Mia doesn't blame the dad, because the dad's got Mia's mom on drugs. So it's just like, it's weird but I mean, I don't know. It's just weird. And
Mia doesn't seem like the type of person that holds grudges.
Maybe not now, but where's her dad at? They never talk about him.
He's deceased.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh, he's deceased. Okay.
Yeah.
That. Well, maybe that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But why does Candiace have to cry all the time?
That's how she's VP Candiace. That's all she does is cry. She can't stop it.
Wow. It's always like she should just have a folded triangle shape.
She should come out with a new line of folded handkerchiefs.
Candiace, we're giving you some advice.
We want 15% of the profits, please.
Because it's like she dabs it and you never get to see the tears.
Right. Because she doesn't want to mess up her makeup.
I know. Mm-hmm. But they must have, I wonder if it was the drop, they were getting both seasick, or it was the hangover that was causing Ray to look so passed out on the boat.
Oh, Ray
not Ray, Candiace's husband, Chris.
Yeah, it's the hangover for sure. For sure. And then when Wendy's like, there's drinks downstairs, I was like, you guys already had enough drinks. You need no more, But it was a good episode. I was so glad that there was no fighting, no yelling, no screaming.
Yes. I just have one more thing to say. Mm-hmm. I think when they went downstairs, Escala and Robyn, it's like Escala was saying, I need to be friends with everybody and not you. It's not like, because she was just like, I'm going to be friends. It makes me feel uncomfortable. And I want to be friends with the people that are here. It doesn't mean that I'm choosing them over you. I'm like, not saying exactly what she said, but paraphrasing it. And Robyn was like, no, you should. You can be friends with anybody, you know? And so it's like, for me, a scholar was saying, I'm going to be my own person and make friends with this person and that person, even though you may not get along with them.
Well, I think she was just checking in with Robyn because she'd already done that. She'd already established relationships. So I think she was just checking in to make sure that they were cool, you know? So, and Robyn was being a grown-up. She's like, yeah, like, you're a grown woman. You can be friends with who you want to be friends with.
Right.
Right. All right, ladies. Well, it was a good episode. It was a departure from the last 5 episodes where everyone was getting along, which was nice. And let's hope that it continues into next week.
I hope next week Wendy amends things with Gizelle. I think it just left with Wendy. I hope they resolve their issues. Just too much.
Yeah, I agree. Well, ladies, Tiara, take it away.
Please comment below, subscribe to our channel, like us, and follow us on Instagram at The Real on The Real. Until next time, bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.